Hello. We're back. There's no gaming scientist. And we're finally continuing again. Final Fantasy 13. Making our way through.
Wow.
Making
our way downtown.
Subterranean. We were. We're now making our way through a subterranean, like, Palsy mole rat, like, tunnel.
Yeah. No, when I started my little radio last night, I saw that in the options that came up, and I'm like, we're putting that song right after this song.
I fucking love that song. And I don't think it's controversial to say that.
No, I don't think so. There's plenty of songs too that I would have been an annoying little
Contrarian about it.
Twerp about. Annoying little twerp. I'm not even gonna say contrarian. Annoying little twerp.
Ooh.
As a kid.
And he does not use twerp lightly. I'm kidding.
No. What are we doing? And just like been an annoying contrarian, but like, yeah. But I don't have any leg to stand on. I was listening to some music that like now I'm like why was I so judgmental?
Yeah. I definitely my musical journey was more like, okay, I listened to whatever my parents put on, right? The most of what they put on was like, obviously, I should say obviously, was like, hello?
Keep an eye on the shadows.
80s pop and like pop ballads and whatnot. A lot of Vietnamese folk music. Predominantly like during and post Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Which again checks out. So I didn't really listen to music outside of those genres until probably like starting 3rd or 4th grade, and then got into all genres really when I guess matured a bit more, or I listened to rap earlier, and then for some reason I was a weird little contrarian about it myself. I'm like, I don't like rap. Rap's like blah blah blah. But I definitely have a better appreciation for rap now than I used to.
I do go back to some of the stuff that was real popular on the radio back then in the genre, and I'm like,
there's some stuff I don't care about it.
I'm still not sure I'm a fan of this, so like maybe that was part of the issue for me, is I wasn't exposed to like the more obscure stuff. You would have had to go to like, you would have had to be in like Sacramento or SF or something to really see these shows.
Yeah.
Or like back east, and like, or troll like record stores, and it's like that's just not something I did.
Yeah, and I think also a big part of it too is for some reason there was either a cultural or like there was some kind of, I'm gonna call it shame for liking what I like. So like, you know, I didn't share.
Look at that thing. Let me guess. That's a fal'Cie?
Yep. Busy carving out new tunnels.
Making roads where roads ain't meant to go, huh? Yeah, kind of sounds like us. All right, roly-poly. Let's hit your ride on that thing.
Now you're thinking grandpa style.
What whimsical music that was. A cutscene just for that? Okay. But yeah, for like the longest time, I did not share, you know, that I liked listening to Vietnamese folk music, because it was like, non-English music. What the fuck? But
You asked for it.
Yeah, I mean that's not that dissimilar from like the kid he's made fun of for his like smelly lunch or whatever, quote unquote.
Yeah, exactly, right? But like for lunch, I never got Vietnamese food for lunch. I always had like a sandwich or something. Probably for that exact reason. I was just like, my family's like, we're not gonna deal with kids saying, ew, your lunch stinks. But also there's probably a reality that like microwaves were not accessible either, as they are now for kids to use. At least in my experience.
Yeah, I would say maybe, but
I don't think we qualify for school lunch, or like low-income school lunch programs were not as ubiquitous as they currently are.
yeah, I used one for a couple years in high school, so
And then
it was like we didn't qualify for free, but it was like functionally free. It was
Yeah,
low enough
like-
that if I didn't get money to bring, I could like ask people for a
You asked
quarter
for it.
and get a lunch.
Yeah, I do remember when we moved to California was when like we could more explicitly, we got like little ticket things that you would present to the food cart, because I didn't even go into the cafeteria. I just went to these like little carts that they pushed out to various like corners of the campus, and you would get like a spicy chicken sandwich, and you would just give them that ticket, and then boom, right? Which those sandwiches slapped, and I argue that they still do. But music-wise, back to the original topic, I listened to a lot of Vietnamese folk, which I didn't share with anyone about. I listened to a lot of like rock, pop, punk, you know, that kind of genre. Where I grew up, it was mostly like hip hop and rap, and my family definitely didn't understand rock in any form.
That is an interesting one to me, but yeah. I know there was definitely some like, and you know, it has all the normal cultural valences when people don't like rap, right? They weren't into rap, and you know, it's constant discourse or whatever. But the one that my dad got me into, like certain like harder rock and metal and stuff, and then my stepbrother also. But my mom didn't like any of it, and my stepdad would like concede the skill of like heavy metal musicians, like guitarists and drummers, but he didn't like the music.
Yeah.
Or like his son was in like a metal band as a kid.
I see.
And like did a lot of drumming and stuff. So like he was like, okay, I can see the
actual
skill
technical
of that.
skill needed to do this, but don't care for the
like,
content
I don't
itself.
I don't actually care for it that much.
Yeah, which I think that's a valid take, personally. Like,
yeah, I mean, because I mean, for one, I don't like a lot of R&B. I'm not gonna say I don't like the genre, because I'm sure I would like certain things, and there's
like
a lot of stuff
outright
that is heavily inspired
Mhm.
by it. So like I can't say, oh, I don't like it. It's just a lot of the stuff that is regularly played, I'm like, I'm not so sure.
Fucking Vanille.
These
And her like,
flowers. You remember them, right?
Yeah, sure I do. They grew all over Eba.
We can't be far now.
I
It's my
wonder,
fault Grand Pulse ended up like this, isn't it?
are they coded as like romantic?
I remember
think?
everything.
I don't know.
I became Ragnarok.
What's
I scarred Cocoon. And I left Grand Pulse in this
'Cause I-
mess.
You
It
know,
was me.
when I originally played this game, I
What are
didn't
you talking about?
think
It all
or
came back to
perceive
me.
this as romantic,
Everything
but
that
like now I'm
happened,
like,
I focus.
kind of see
All
it.
of it.
You're lying.
No, it's the
Oh,
truth.
I was gonna say, when are we
It's all
getting
my
her
fault.
summoned?
Don't say that.
Because she's the only one that hasn't gotten it, and still the weirdest spot. Oh, you haven't seen her summon yet, Connor. Wait till you see this fucking freak.
and what he turns into?
I'm not gonna lie, I still don't know what it turns into.
Does that have a duck bill?
Wait, so you were lying?
No more than you were. Admit it. You remember everything.
It wasn't your fault.
Vanille, we should talk about this later.
Let's put a pin in this for now. Oh, it's only two? What the fuck?
Is this
So
supposed
right
to
off the
be-
bat, it gives like Buddhist Hindu vibes, right?
Well, right. Is this supposed to be like? Oh no, it's Heka Tonker.
I don't know if you want to look that up.
Yeah, we're gonna look that up, because I'm like, they usually take these from mythology.
Yeah. It's just which mythology are we? we're dealing with.
Take this! You're gonna swerve!
I'm not all smiles and sunshine.
Oh, it's from Greek myth, which I somehow never heard of them, but
Hello.
You're gonna
there were monstrous giants of enormous size and strength, each with 50 heads and 100 arms. They're individually named Hodus, Briareus, Gyges.
give it your best shot.
In the standard tradition, they were offspring of Uranus and of Gaia, and helped Zeus and the Olympians to overthrow the Titans in the Titanic. Jeez.
This'll be quick.
Okay.
Why you?
So,
No choice, I guess.
I'm low-key worried I'm not gonna fill this bar in time.
You're gonna swerve!
You have to try one more time.
Maybe.
Take this.
I think Thunder is doing the best.
Oh. Take this.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Take this.
You're gonna swerve!
Oh.
Can I pull it off? Oh, thank God. Okay. All right, let's see what it turns into. A weird little tank
All right.
like thing.
Okay. Weird little bipedal tank thing?
Yeah. Like front-facing cannons.
Huh.
I knew something was off. You've been shying away from our focus ever since we woke up on Cocoon. I couldn't figure it out, but then it all made sense after hearing that story from Reigns. You already knew. You knew Ragnarok was the name of destruction.
It's interesting that they use Ragnarok.
You had to do all the horrible stuff. And I didn't have to do anything.
That
It's like
is
a
no
being in
reason
this
to
world,
lie to
isn't
me.
it?
Yeah, in this
You
world,
think that's what I want?
it still fulfills like the destruction myth, but
You
it's
of
like it's an
all
actual being itself rather than like a series of events.
Yeah.
Which, how did they handle it in
Poor kid.
God of War
You've had it
Ragnarok?
rough.
Was it? It was more just the series of events, right? Effectively,
Listen, you're not
Yeah.
alone anymore.
or like the meddling of Kratos and Atreus.
In the series of events. Well, yeah, and
Keep that up,
and it,
and you'll have me crying soon.
yeah, it firmly establishes that like these
We have a
figures
new
actually
family.
matter to these myths that are written down, but like
We stick together.
that wasn't clear
You hear
until
me?
now or something.
I'm like hitting the
It's very
screenshot
interesting.
button.
It's a very interesting thing that they structured that where like, oh, Kratos like left his home world for a long time and then fell in love, and the giantess that he fell in love with is like pivotal to these like myths in this new world he found himself in.
Yeah,
So
there was a rumor that this would have been announced at the state of play, and I think I told you in person that there was like a prequel God of War that was gonna be revealed, and it was like gonna be like a 2D Metroidvania vibe. That did not turn out to be announced, at least, and it would have covered his time between the Greek and Norse sagas.
Okay, kind of bridge that. So
Yeah.
like, I never played 1, although I heard that once you played 2, it's probably not worth playing 1.
I
never
wonder
played 3.
if I went back, would I enjoy them as much as I enjoyed them initially?
Yeah, I think quick time events was kind of the era. Now I find them kind of tedious unless they're done right. Like, because obviously, like, Expedition 33 is just a long quick time event.
I have an argument against that. I think when integrated into real-time combat,
Take this nice and
or
slow.
integrated into gameplay, it works well. The
Okay,
way
so
it's
not a cutscene.
integrated.
Yeah.
Outside of that, so like, I would argue the Resident Evil 4 style ones are not as. I would not enjoy them, I think, now compared to back then. And actually, I'm gonna attack the little.
Yeah.
These guys. Like, if you're gonna start showing me a cutscene, show me the cutscene. Don't force me to have to like half pay attention.
I actually have their games. I turn them off now because I don't like them.
Yeah.
I find them annoying. So
That being said, I do like the Until Dawn style games. So maybe I'm just a big fucking hypocrite.
yeah.
Because I definitely do enjoy those style of games a lot. Yeah, so maybe I'm just a big hypocrite. Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm a big fake person. Come at me, internet. I'm a little annoyed that they didn't give me a new level like Astarion to upgrade towards. But they did give Vanille a new level of ATB, so she can do more stuff. I don't remember if it goes up to 6 or not. Right now I have 5 for lightning. I don't remember if it goes up to 6. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna argue, and I'm curious. I'm gonna look up conversations of this on Reddit, that Fang and Vanille are. You could definitely read it as romantic, their relationship. Like I could very much see it. I could very much see it being read both ways, as like romantic and just platonic, like best friends kind of vibe. Or more accurately, I think you could read it definitely as like big sister, little sister. Like that is definitely there.
Oh, for
it's
sure.
not romantic.
For sure. I just don't know if it's like. And the thing is, like, especially at this timeline, and I think like arguably from a Japanese studio,
Well, I don't want to fight that thing. That's gonna take too long.
if it's there or even like just a fandom thing, it's like they did a decent job, I guess. I don't know how I'm trying to put that, but it's like, because it's not like in your face, overt, or tasteless, and you can kind of see both situations.
Yeah, because definitely Japanese media, and I'm gonna speak very specifically for like anime, can get real weird in displaying female friendships.
And I'm mostly speaking anime and manga type realms.
No,
That's kinda where
100%.
hurts
It's
the
definitely
most.
more prevalent there. Okay, I'm like, they are weak and shit, right? I swear if you die. There we go. I wonder what Square Enix is up to, though. I mean, I know, you know, Remake Part 3, whatever it's going to be called, is in active development. I do wonder if a studio is working actively on 17 right now or not. I know 16 is only 2 years old technically, but I do wonder if
they stagger them a little bit though, don't they?
Yes, but
yeah.
well, the thing is, like, I don't have a sense of like how many studios are dedicated to Final Fantasy versus not.
And I don't think anyone does. They're a bit like Nintendo, where they're a little tight-lipped about their internal processes.
Well, not nearly as tight-lipped as Nintendo. We know for certain, excuse me, like Business Division 3, which is the Final Fantasy, the one that made 16. They are very explicitly like the previously very explicitly the Final Fantasy 14 team. Then they did 16, and now I think they're in charge of like the Tactics remaster as well. Creative Business Division 1 is the team that has been doing basically the Final Fantasy 7 remake series, and that was previously the Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 8. 7, 8, 10 teams were those, and then the entirety of the 13 games were Division 1. There's a Division 2 and 4, and I think those are primarily like the Octopath Traveler. I don't know which is which, but one of those is definitely like the Octopath Traveler, the HD2D group. And then the other one I think is like probably like their Dragon Quest and like Secret of Mana divisions and whatnot. Now, how big those divisions are, I don't know, but the two main teams are
Not much longer now.
occupied, as far as we know. Unless they had split those up or have secretly another division that's working on another mainline Final Fantasy. Which, if they are, I really do hope a mainline Final Fantasy goes into more of like a semi-futuristic thing, and is lighter. The dourness of 16, while I enjoyed it at the time, was I don't think I could do 2 games like that again.
Yeah, I think I would prefer something a little lighter from them again.
The enemy off balance.
And just goofiness. Like, you can have dark themes, because like every Final Fantasy has dark themes, but like there's definitely goofiness in those games that could be maintained.
Yeah.
This one's annoying because it buffs all of them.
After hearing it for like I don't know how many hours now.
I mean, we're 20 something episodes in, man. Like that's a long time.
It's around 20 hours then.
Yeah. Oh, hope's down. Whoops. Okay.
Target's a target. Time for another approach.
It fucking
You'll make it.
it interrupted my my res. That's annoying. We shouldn't beat the shit out of it. Okay. Oh, but then who's the Kingdom Hearts team? God damn it.
Now you're like, ooh. Oh man, this game looks like it'd be a lot of fun if they made a multiplayer.
What game?
Deadly Days Road Trip. It's like a top-down, like zombie,
Oh.
like mob shooter type thing.
No way through.
I'm getting the demo. I'm gonna try
FRC
that
must have been
out sometime later.
I saw a TikTok video of a game where
Stop already.
it was a survival crafting game where
It's all over again.
it's co-op where you're all just on a train that's constantly moving through the world.
Get out of there.
I'm like, ooh, I like that.
I think I saw that, but I don't remember it being. I remember seeing some things about it that were not great, or maybe it was that the reviews on Steam were kind of
Yeah.
iffy. So I was kind of like, I don't know yet.
You can do it.
I do want to try out. I downloaded the demo, but Bus Flipper Simulator, I do want to try.
Ooh, well, that was cool. Go robot guys.
Good lesson for us. Not even a mighty foul sea is a match for the power of teamwork.
The power of friendship.
Right there.
Save the sermons, old man. Let's hop on Trailblazer here while we still have the chance.
You know, I've said this before, and the side-scrolling like 2D
Really
graphic
then?
stuff is fine. Like the beat 'em up game they made for Power Rangers, great.
Yeah.
Gotta put a good studio on a full-featured 3D Power Rangers game.
Dude, I would
like-
sacrifice so much for that test.
Just like
You don't even know.
the reality, the fact that hasn't happened in recent years is wild.
Or in any capacity.
Yeah, that's
Really?
true. I think there were some really weird old ones that weren't very good, but
Like
it's
every
been a long time.
Power Rangers game has mostly been some sort of side-scrolling beat 'em up. There was
That's
like
true.
a Zord fighting game, which kind of makes sense, and then there was Battle for the Grid, which is very much a like just a fighter, like a fighting game. Which I'm not a fighting game person, so like I couldn't enjoy it as much as I want to. But like you could do so much with a nice open hub, open world Power Rangers game where you do mini arcs culminating in
I was
make my
talking to Sarah.
creature grow kaiju fight.
Just telling her that we're all
Like
gonna be okay.
it's all there. The game design could write itself. Like the IP I think is strong enough that you could get away with like some generic game design, open world game design, and like the IP is strong enough that it could just carry
It's so pretty.
the sales for that. You know what I mean?
Sarah, you'd been crying,
Yeah.
hadn't you?
Like look at
Back
Hogwarts
when we
Legacy.
first met?
Pretty, if you strip away the Harry Potterness of it, fairly simple open world
This place was beautiful,
checklist
and
stuff,
my
but
focus
because
was to
of the
destroy it.
IP,
I decided to
that
do
game
nothing
sold
and wait to
an
become
insane
safe.
amount.
But because I did nothing,
Yeah.
others
There is-
got dragged into this
I-
nightmare, and I was the one to blame.
It's not like the perfect game for me, but I liked my time with it, and
How's
I
this
think I
grade?
probably want to restart it and just like play through it slowly, just a
Fine.
little bit, like a couple hours each week or something.
Much better.
Because I liked the
Thanks to
game, I just think that it was like, oh, there's a lot here, and it's way more than I thought, and engaging with certain
Oh,
mechanics is a
so I
little
don't mind.
right now.
I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not keeping you from anything, am I?
But it's actually not a bad game.
Not at all.
Not
No,
like
it's
I could
a
not a fan
solid
of-
8 at highest. It's a solid 8.
I think yeah around
Hey,
there.
Sarah.
Which
the combat
reminder,
helped,
guys,
it helps the
Meet again?
is a good game. 8 is good.
We might. Sure.
7 is good
the-
too.
Yeah, and I mean, I would even maybe punch it a little bit higher, but it's not or anything.
No.
It's just
The thing is, I was chasing after someone.
I think they helped themselves by making the
and
combat
there's
some
something
variation
I
of
need to
the
apologize for.
Mordor combat style, the Arkham combat
But I
style.
just
It's like a very
Yeah,
similar
and
kind of
having
like
needing to have a varied spell
It's gotta
loadout
be
to
tough,
break
huh?
through those little barriers that enemies can have. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a permutation of those combat
Yeah.
systems. So yeah, but anyway,
Um.
If it's too much to deal with, face it later. Really?
And I would be surprised if they
Sometimes
don't
things seem
make a sequel to
easier
that
when you
game,
look at them from a
event of some
distance.
kind. Like I would be shocked.
But does that really work?
yeah.
Good question.
And I wonder what that would look like, but
I'll let you know.
maybe they can make a game that actually doesn't feel terrible in the
Actually,
Fantastic
I've been
Beasts
trying to keep
universe.
something at a distance myself lately.
Because the movies apparently, from everything I heard, weren't great. I'm sure there are
Don't laugh,
there
okay?
I'm sure there are
It's
defenders
a
out there,
dream
but
I
like
The first one was fine,
Bad one.
and granted,
Dreamt I destroyed the world.
I think this was before she was
It's
publicly
terrifying.
like a
I
monster.
needed
But
some time alone.
the first one was
Had me
fine.
So scared. I tried to run away.
The second one was bad, and I didn't even watch the third one. Well, by the time of the third one coming out, I'm pretty sure it was very obvious she
I
was
understood.
a monster.
Running away and
just
leaving behind the
and
people
just
you
like
care about.
leaning into being like
Yeah.
unnecessarily vindictive about
You
it.
might
It's
just
like
want to
Exactly.
keep them safe. Shutting them out
there
of
are
your
some
life
people who
only
kind
hurts
of
them
are
more.
of that persuasion that like just
The point is,
don't
I have
talk a
people
lot,
I can
and
count
like
on. I'll make it
it's like, I think like John Cleese has made some comments, but like is generally not in the spotlight.
It's
And you will
it's
Also,
be
he's not
more-
relevant anymore.
You'll find the words.
yeah, like if
I'm
she
sure of it.
said those things and then was criticized, and she's like, you know what? Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I should reevaluate. Blah blah blah.
I'm so sorry.
Um,
What else can I say?
I think the blowback would have been,
I'm not the one you should
less,
be asking, Vanille.
but
know what to
she
say when you
it's because she like dug her heels in and
We'll see.
is being like excessively vindictive about it, is where like it's really just what the fuck, lady.
You mean you met Sarah?
And I think the next thing that like, but the thing is like that IP is so big and so important to a lot of people that like, you know, they're still
Well, when we
going through with
rescue
that HBO series. She's
maybe
set
you'll
for
get a
life,
chance.
and that's the thing. Like that IP,
Come on.
I don't know. Short of like literally murdering someone, I don't see how much vitriol she could like spew for that IP to truly lose like its luster and its like appeal. Does that make sense?
Cocoon over to us, and
Yeah.
that's what made her turn to crystal.
Like short of having to murder someone, I think she's fine and probably set for life, and that's maybe why she's so vindictive. Is like she knows it too.
Yeah.
Can you upgrade my Custarium, please? Dude, I have like 120,000 to spend.
You can't spend it on anything right now.
I can on their like non-main roles, but I don't think that's a good use of the CP
Yeah.
because it's like 7,000 or 8,000 per like node for like little to no like actual meaningful gain. Ooh, I don't have Plaza Suite. I'm like, maybe I should go watch a movie on like Discount Tuesday. That'd be fun. Dude, let's go watch 28 Years Later.
Easy.
Oh.
That might be a move. Hello? Okay. I was like, what?
The problem is I can't find
28 days in any
No,
form.
no. 28 days later, I actually
week.
have. I discovered I have it. We discovered I have it. 28 weeks later is the hard one to find, right?
The one that's like is hidden to the world for some reason.
It also just like wasn't as good. It wasn't as well received. Like it still had like important story elements, I think, but and I don't know if it's literally not as good. It's just the first one has a certain charm in the style. It's a lower budget movie, so it like he had to make certain decisions on how he shot
Yeah.
things. That just like really, like it's one of those things with a lot of art that is discussed. Like you put like some arbitrary restrictions and guardrails on how you're doing things, and it like forces you to reach for creative solutions. Whereas if you have everything at your fingertips and like the most sophisticated tech, the most sophisticated everything, it's like sometimes you just like you get a little bit, you rest on your laurels a little bit in terms of like how creative you get with it.
Oh, I swear to God, if you die. Okay. I also haven't watched the new Mission Impossible, and I know Louise said go watch it, but she's not like a big Mission Impossible person like I am.
I'm also not. I'm just not into that kind of action movie typically.
Yeah. And I also want to watch the John Wick spinoff.
Now John Wick is one that I do need to watch through, but I was never like, I don't have the eagerness to go see it in theaters or rush out to buy it or anything like that. But I think
We have all four at home.
Yeah.
And they're on Peacock if you prefer not to actually like do a physical disc, which I will say, I know almost for certain that people will freak out during that movie because of the insane amount of gunshots that are happening.
Yeah.
Because she even freaked out when we were watching like Lord of the Rings and or Fellowship specifically, where like the fireworks scene in the beginning, and we were watching the Blu-ray, and what may not be common knowledge is like
Hardly worth the
compared to streaming, Blu-ray not only has like the higher quality video in general, but like the audio quality is significantly better for Blu-ray copies of games, movies, and whatnot.
Makes sense. If it's locally, if it's either stored on a physical disc or like locally loaded, it's going to be able to like.
Yeah, because when you're streaming something, they want to cap it at a certain bit rate, so overall bit rate that they want to stream to you, to make sure it's like a consistently smooth stream. Versus where, if you are, going from a physical media, like you were saying, you can you're limited to, you're not really as limited to like an internet connection or whatever.
Yeah.
Looks like I don't have to help my mom anymore, so that clears up my day. Which means I'll probably throw a movie onto the TV while I like organize the house a little bit. Ooh, I could put 98 Godzilla on Connor.
Good.
I fucking love that movie. It's the Matthew Broderick one. I unironically love that movie.
Do I have Ferris Bueller's Day Off over there?
I'm not gonna be able to tell you, man. You know this.
No. I'm just.
I don't know
looking
actually.
done. I used to have a copy of it, but I don't know if I have it still.
I need
It's like
to
I used to have a
organize.
copy of I used to have a copy of Office Space, but I'm pretty sure it's not there. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah. I definitely just need to organize that area in general. That area is a big mess, and I definitely anticipate a couple more deal books coming.
I mean, I'm probably gonna want to buy a copy of 28 Years Later myself when it comes out.
Oh, it's at least the Steelbook, which, yes, it is low-key silly to like buy multiple copies, like your own copy of mine, but like also not, because you know you might move out at some point. But I know this
will. Not clear
yeah,
when.
the Steelbook is definitely up for pre-order already. And I haven't actually watched any material about 28 Years Later. Like, I have no clue actually what the premise is at all.
No.
Which I'm okay with, to be clear. I think only with like Marvel movies am I like kind of on top of trailers and whatnot. Otherwise, I've been trying to just not watch as many trailers, especially for like directors that I find interesting in general. I think it's just nice to just go in not knowing what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Look at this dude. This guy reminds me of the Zora designs in Twilight Princess a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Which, talk about a game that I would do as a series in a heartbeat if there was a modern way to play it, or a accessible way to play it, we'll call it.
Yeah, the only way that, like, well, it's either, you know, go the questionable route of emulation, but
which I fully support.
I just don't know, like, how dodgy you need to be about that for a game like that, especially with Nintendo. But I know people do it, but it's like, you know, I'm sure that there's some difference in like what scale of content creator you are. It's the reality is it's probably like if you're real small and you're real big, you can probably get away with it. But if you're
also,
like,
I imagine it's like, as long as you're not explicitly like showing it's an emulation, I think you'll be fine. And like,
the other option would be
buy a fucking
acquiring
GameCube
or a Wii U.
Hey, Sarah.
Nah.
What dreams are you
I would-
having up there?
I would go with the GameCube first, but
Yeah.
the only problem is they're a
Well-
little harder
Far
to
today.
run correctly anymore.
Let's rest up and start out
They're
fresh
just much
tomorrow.
older.
Because now
And they
you
don't have-
you have to
they don't
think
have
like, oh, how
dedicated-
do I hook it up to a capture card? How do I do this, that? Like,
Well,
there's
yeah,
a
you
lot
have to-
more pieces you have to like think about. Ooh,
You have to get the RGB to HDMI conversion kit.
we haven't gotten a CG scene in a while. That's not true. This is gonna be the thumbnail.
How's Sarah?
Same as we left her.
Now that I think about it,
So far away now.
did 16 have any kind of CG scenes like
Sarah
this,
says
or was it
she
all
wants
in
to
engine?
talk.
I don't know.
I know.
I mean, the engine's a lot more robust these days.
Yeah,
so,
so
like,
it's
She
not
probably
necessary
preferred
anymore.
escape
Air quotes.
lectures. Hey,
Once we're home, what's your plan? You're getting married, right?
what's that?
Sarah wants to know.
Don't scare me like that.
You are getting married, aren't you? Don't you let her down, you hear me?
Accept it.
Don't worry. This tear will be her
Dude,
last.
I am hyped
I'll
for
make sure of
Death
that.
Stranding 2.
That's all I need
I'm
to
ready
know.
for some Kojima weirdness.
Yeah.
We will see her, right?
And apparently the combat's a lot better too.
Go there. No
Yeah.
room for doubt.
You're right.
No
We'll
room
see
for
you
doubt.
again. And soon. You convinced me of that. So stay strong.
Don't worry.
Again, I still do think this game
We'll
has
finish this.
some of the best like
Give
character
Sarah time.
interaction and character interaction writing of these years. It's very much still like anime ish, but like a lot of the characters really do call each other out on their shit in like a realistic way that some Final Fantasies don't do, and definitely some JRPGs don't do. All right, that's a good narrative cutoff, and I'm still not with a new Crystarium. Right? Yeah. Okay. We will catch you on the flip side, y'all. Bye.
Bye.